I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. I started my first company when I was 15 years old, buying and selling electronics. I grew up in a recession time, couldn't get a job, so I made one. And then in college, I met a couple of co-founders that I have a huge amount of respect for, built out a quiz platform that anybody can use to make a quiz. We help over 7,000 customers generate leads, make sales, engage their audience using fun quizzes. And it's all fun. That's the best part of it. It's actually an enjoyable experience for everybody all around.
Every time I talk to people about quizzes, we kind of laugh about like the little teen magazines we used to read as a kid, right? Like how to know if he's right for you. As human beings, like we haven't changed. We love like these self-assessment programs and personality quizzes, and being able to bring that into your business, I think is so cool. When quizzes were kind of first coming about and people were trying to DIY a lot of quizzes, it was like, which Disney princess are you most like when you're working, right? And it's like, sure, those are fun, but are they really hitting pain points and kind of converting into like the leads and sales? Mine's more built around like what's stopping you from having a really engaged community. And it's like, ooh, people want to know the answer to that. Whereas like Disney princess, that's fun, but then getting that to apply to their pain point in your business, I think is more challenging.
First sticking point is just like, I don't even know what to make a quiz about. And that's like the first part of how our AI works. Like you put in your website, what you do, who your customers are, and how you help your customers. And then it gives you suggestions you can choose from. If you already know your idea, you can just skip that step. And then the next part of it, it asks you a few more questions, like what do you want the quiz to focus on? Are there any specific like results you want to show? And then it generates all the questions and the logic. That is where the most people get stuck, is like writing questions that are fun, but also, like you said, like leads people to something that's actually practical and related to your business. Like it has to be fun, but still connected to your business. Because it's unbiased, as a business owner, it's really hard to not err on the side of like, oh, I need this to make sales, or I need this to be really fun. It's really hard to be in the middle. So I'd say that's where like a computer is actually better at figuring that out.
What would you say are some of the things that make a quiz kind of have that good balance of entertaining and, informational?
The best starting place for any quiz is like what question your audience has that they're trying to answer that you are uniquely positioned to help with. Your zone of genius or your vocation or your gift is like people have a question and you are uniquely good at helping them solve. Then the other approach is like, what goal are people trying to reach? What are they going for? How are you uniquely positioned to help them reach that goal and like get to that dream state? You either take that question or that goal, and then you just kind of flip it around into a question, which becomes the title of the quiz. The cool thing about the Interact AI is when you generate that quiz, it goes into your dashboard. So basically that's like a CMS for quizzes. So generate with AI, and then it goes in there where you can change it and edit it and make it more specific to your voice and all that kind of good stuff.
Another area I've seen quizzes work really well is for people that serve clients that are all in different phases or different levels, right? So a lot of people that I work with, myself included, it's like we have an intermediate like way of working with us, then we have a middle way of working with us, and then there's like a super advanced. And the quiz is such a beautiful way where people can kind of self-identify where they are in this customer journey, and like you get to custom take them to the right offer, because otherwise someone just lands on our website. How are they going to know? And we have a lot of offers going on, right? Like, how are they going to know which one to buy? And I think a quiz is such a cool way where people can just like, boom, this is what I need. And I just go buy it.
Yeah, that's one of the most powerful ways to use it. And it's one of the recipes that's really baked into the AI. Less options means more sales. There's not really a good way to do less options without asking people what they actually need. The quiz is like by far the simplest way to do that. And something that I'm hearing a lot recently coming out of the post-pandemic slowdown in the economy is that business owners are just simplifying everything. Like simplifying messaging, simplifying value, simplifying website, simplifying everything. You could get away with a website that had like 10 links to 10 different things in 2018, but today someone lands on that site and there's like, whatever, next one. And then they never come back. And it costs so much money to get someone to come to your website. Everything we do at the very top of the funnel, social content, blogs, guest appearances, speaking events, all of that is just to get someone to come to your website. They come and they're like, there's too many options. They leave. probably not coming back. That's like a really, really, really expensive mistake.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. I mean, the best implementations that we're seeing now for like a primary quiz, which is what we call a quiz that applies to like your whole business, is just like, yeah, you have your website, maybe you have a photo of you if you're an influencer or a coach, maybe you have like a photo of your products if you're in e-commerce, and then just a button to take a quiz.
Yeah.
And that works really well.
And it does everything. It gets them on your email list. I mean, it can literally do everything you need it to do for a top of funnel activity.
Yeah.
When people like get started on Interact, can they do an unlimited amount of quizzes? Or I forget if you guys have different pricing for like 1 quiz versus 10. What are some of the like perks that people get to using Interact?
Yeah, so now we have a different model where you can sign up free and start making quizzes. You have to start a subscription to launch those quizzes. You can sign up free and you can make 5 quizzes, and with the AI, so it'll generate those quizzes.
Oh, awesome.
And then we have different tiers depending on how many live quizzes you want, but we went pretty conservative on it, where it's like, realistically, you're not going to make more quizzes than these numbers for the tiers based on like the size of your business. So we just try to keep it pretty conservative and let people do their thing without having it be like totally unlimited, because then you open yourself up to spam, and then that hurts our actual customers.
Good point.
We're going to continue building that AI. So we were chatting about this in a kind of funny way before the show, but eventually our AI quiz builder will be a consultant that talks to you and extracts your words so that you don't have to go through that process of like use the AI to generate and then edit it yourself. The AI will actually be there with you, talking to you and being like, hey, I like the way that your title is phrased. Maybe consider these other options. It might be more in line with what your audience would want, and then it'll ask you questions and go back and forth. So we're constantly adding to the AI. You don't have to do anything. It just goes into the existing product. It's not going to change where you access that, but we're just continuing to build that out, because that I think is really powerful in terms of getting the best, because the best thing is when you as the business owner use your voice and your words, and that's how it already works, but there's just so much more room to grow there. So that's what we're really focused on.
Yeah, well, and business owners don't want to learn how to be the best quiz writers. They just want to quiz for their business, right? So it's like it's allowing AI to kind of use these formulas, like you said, that exist to take the pain points and the messaging and flip it into a quiz. Because that's where my brain really struggled to connect the dots, is like, I know a quiz will work. I know my audience and I know how to sell to them, but like how to reverse engineer that. And I think that's so great that AI is going to be able to help with that, because you even mentioned to me that the best thing that you guys do is this kind of like consultant relationship where you sit down with someone and help them through that process. And now they'll be able to do that from the comfort, like their own time. And it's so easy to segment with the quizzes. Like we talked about, you can meet people where they're at. And then now you can even email them knowing their specific pain point or the way they answered the quiz, which that really excited me when we set ours up, is wait, now I can talk to these people specifically versus trying to talk to the whole list in a way that hits all of them.
That just resonates well on a human level. It's like, I want to be seen, I want to be listened to, I want someone to talk to me about what I'm trying to do. I don't want to hear like the best thing overall. I mean, sometimes, but that only really applies to stuff like weight loss or like very broad categories.
Yeah.
I think anything that's actually specific to you and like your human experience and your business, you want it to be personal.
Yeah.